junkies, and it is Bob from AFJ, and I am here today with a new review of the X-Force Wave Build-A-Figure Marvel Legend Alpha Flight Marvel's Guardian. Yes, that's right. This is James Hudson, also known as Weapon Alpha and Vindicator. This is not Captain Canuck. This is the Vindicator or Guardian. I like Vindicator. I always like that name better. But this is the Build-A-Figure new wave out pretty much anywhere you can find them right now. I think this is a figure that most people, generally the non-diehard Marvel guys, probably going to pass this one by unless they're trying to build the Wendigo. Now you do get his tail and his chest. Big pieces here, essential pieces. We are going to build the Wendigo. We now have all the pieces here. We're slowly going to do these reviews over this next couple of days. So look for them all here on YouTube and on the AFJ site. We do have some great artwork here. I wish that Marvel would put the artwork, the artist on the box. Is it so hard to just put like from this issue or something like that? Looking up some things on the Guardian. I mean, his first appearance was in X-Men 109. He was created by John Byrne and Chris Claremont, for God's sakes. Let's have some artwork names on here. Who are these guys? As you can see in the Build-A-Figure wave that we have laid out here on the back, we do have a X-Force Wolverine, we have Cannonball, we have Boom Boom, the Guardian, who is from Alpha Flight, Nightcrawler, and Mr. Sinister. Only villain in the line. Now, you could say the Wendigo is kind of a villain, kind of not. It just depends on which Wendigo we're getting here. I am partial to the Wendigo from the Exiles, to tell you the truth. That was my Wendigo. I don't know. Do we have That Was My Wendigo? We have Those Are My Doctor Who's. That's my doctor. But that's my Wendigo. So let's get to it. Let's see what this figure is like. Now, the Canadian version of Captain America, as I read that he was billed as, and I can kind of believe that. But he has some powers. This is more of a super suit, kind of like a heightened kind of thing. But then if you really get into the deep part of his mythos and Marvel, he went to space, the suit became part of him, all kinds of crazy stuff going on here. But, see, even though it says Alpha Flight, we still got the X-Men logo in here. So it's part of an X-Men wave. He was featured in the X-Men a lot. I can see why. But Alpha Flight is like that niche group of Marvel fans. When they announced that Alpha Flight was going to get a box set, it was going to be an Amazon exclusive, people went crazy. And for me, I went, okay, cool figures, but it wasn't really my wheelhouse. So that's why I was kind of interested in seeing what this figure was like. What, would he hold up? I think the design is really good. I loved how they worked in the Canadian maple leaf into his costume. I think that's great. However, is this a cool figure? We're going to find out. Look at that. The feet are in there. Now, this makes me wonder, like, you're at this kind of thing, a kid just might rip it out. Is a kid... All right, got one out. So, talk about putting your $20 purchase at risk. Why would you do this? He's in there. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you've never seen this happen before. So, wow. Like, talk about putting your figure at risk and your purchase at risk to make him that hard to get out. Now, maybe it's just the thing, his foot slipped in there, but you don't want to really put your ball joints at risk for your products. Now, this feels like it's a little, yeah, there we go. That was a little loose getting in there. Not loose, but it looked like it was ready to fall out. Work this. Let's do an instant pose. I don't like how they had his arms posed. Hands pose. Yeah, that looks cool. Yeah. All right. Let's kind of give him an instant pose. And he is standing on his own instantly. You gotta like that. When they stand and they have good balance, everything works out really well. That's what you want out of your figure immediately to be the hero that he is. Or villain. Let's get rid of the plastic coffin here. So this tail, he's there. So this tail here is very rubbery. I expected this to be hard plastic. So the Wendigo's tail is, see, watch, it curls right back. That's nice. And then So we got a rubbery loincloth, we'll call it. Loincloth here on the front and back. We do have a space for the tail. And these are rubbery too. So we do have other pieces here. And if you've been following us on YouTube, we already have Nightcrawler reviewed. So Nightcrawler is up. You can check him out. And he came with one of the arms. So we are almost there. Look at that thing. We'll save it all for the end. We'll save it all for the end. So let's look at some of the paint applications, because this isn't like a heavy, you know, like detailed, like lots of belts and weapons. In fact, he doesn't even have a belt. But I gotta say, I think a second head would be good to come with this figure. Now, granted, you are getting a lot of plastic here with the torso and the tail, but kind of a straightforward face, and maybe a jaw that would open and give us a little something extra. I do like the eyes, though. We got well painted. I like this kind of look. That's nice. It's got this nice, like, almost like shiny plastic. And it's like they've kept the paint consistent between here and the arm, so it doesn't stand out too much. Great color here. And then we have the line here, so you got to be able to do that. But this is something that really bothers me. Now, I know the joint over here has to be red. So do we get to a point where would you rather have this be white or this be red? So I think it would look the other way around, because this stands out. So I'd rather have two white dots here and then this be white. So that's an interesting thing, and I've been seeing that a lot lately. But then we look at this, and then we have a red dot, white dot, white dot, red dot. So we're picking and choosing here which side is it going to be. At least it's consistent. That does not want to go back too far. At least it's consistent. They're exactly the same on both sides. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. So white, white, red, red. But great paint application here. Give him that. See, the nice thing about doing these joints this way is that we can give him a full-on flight kind of look. And his head is at a good spot that looks like he's flying. I mean, the character does fly, so you have a nice pose like that. Solid. Yeah, that's nice. So, not a real flashy figure, but great paint. Don't see really any little bumps or nicks that would say, oh, this one wasn't painted well. I'm really liking the joints here. He's a solid figure. So let's put him next to some recent acquisitions here. So here he is next to the Marvel 80th Hulk. It kind of gives you a scale and scope of these figures. And then let's put him next to the other Canadian hero we have here at the office, Wolverine. So there's an interesting scale of these figures. I'm going to get a little better angle here. And there's the scale of these three figures. Kind of an interesting. So let's get the boys out of there. That fabulous 2-pack from the Marvel 80th anniversary. And then let's put in some figures that, some characters are a little bit more to scale with him to give you a better idea of what we're looking at. So there's Cap and his Canadian counterpart. Having Captain Britain in here would really just be a great 3-pack, or a great setup for the 3. And then let's bring in Iron Man. But let's do this here. So there we go. Gives you this shot of the 3 together here. Sorry for the bumpy camera, but just trying to get them all in here. Gives you a nice idea. Yeah, he's a nice figure. He looks good. You know, he has flight. He has these different powers, but is he something that the kids are going to play with? I don't think so. He's been not very well known. This could be something Marvel's going to remedy. And if you've ever noticed that Marvel releases certain figures almost as if they're testing the waters. This is a popular figure, as I said, with a niche fan base inside the Marvel community. But maybe the right kid picks this up. Maybe starts reading the right question. I also liked it when I was a kid to have figures of this nature a little bit different, that not everybody knew their backstory. So you weren't limited to their origins or their stories or their powers, and you could just have fun with it. And that's an aspect of just collecting toys that was always interesting to me. I always liked being the guy that you didn't know a lot about, you know, the Bosk in the original Star Wars line, or perhaps Manny Faces when he just first came out. You had so many possibilities of what you could and could not do based on what the character was. Now, One thing I've noticed, and I've been moving these arms around a bit, kind of felt as if that maybe they were upside down or backwards, but they don't really go out too far. Like, there we go, finally got it out. Yeah, just, okay, they're really stiff. And that's a good thing. Like, I've had some figures that it felt like they've been played with by like a 5-year-old for like 2 weeks. Come right out of the package. But his arms are very stiff. Like, I'm afraid I'm going to break it. And I haven't really broken a figure since the Fortnite figure that I reviewed not too long ago. But let's give him a little bit more of a standing up pose. I don't know. The arms are... If I got to make one criticism, I got to say that the arms are definitely a little weird to me. All right. But overall, good figure, especially if you want to build the Wendigo. He is the essential connecting piece. Thank you for tuning in, junkies. Check out our Nightcrawler review. That is up already, and we're going to keep adding to the X-Force collection. Thank you.